there were lots of animals running around the surface of the Earth, and you'd see croc relatives and mammal relatives and dinosaurs.
Prehistoric creatures are endlessly fascinating. Fossils millions of years old have been unearthed in the most unexpected places, offering new insights and paving the way for exciting discoveries. But what were animals really like back in those ancient times? Scientists continue to answer this question with remarkable new findings. From the recently discovered body of a prehistoric creature once thought extinct to the incredible flying Monkeydactyl, here are 20 newly discovered prehistoric creatures that will leave you in awe. Number 20. Sea dragon. I think I found a dinosaur. Those were the words of Joe Davis. Britain's largest fossil has just been discovered. This ichthyosaur skeleton, which means lizard fish, is also called sea dragon because of its giant size. The ichthyosaur fossils discovered to date proved that individuals of some of these marine species could reach a length of 25 meters. Sea dragons populated the oceans between approximately 250 and 90 million years BCE. A specimen was discovered in the Rutland Water Nature Reserve, located approximately 110 kilometers west of the city of Birmingham. Its discoverer, Joe Davis, explained that while working in the reserve in February 2021, he saw a strange structure on the ground protruding from the mud, the appearance of which suggested that it was of an organic rather than mineral nature. By clearing the structure, he identified bones. Shortly after, paleontologists were notified to carry out excavations at the site. It took 3 weeks to excavate the whole thing. This fossil is around 10 meters long, and its state of conservation is quite incredible, as the skeleton is almost complete. It is the largest ichthyosaur skeleton ever discovered in Britain and the most complete skeleton of a large prehistoric reptile ever discovered in the UK, and this comparison includes dinosaurs. The skull of the specimen, which lived around 180 million years ago, is 2 meters long, and the animal must have weighed nearly 1 ton. In addition to its exceptional size and state of preservation, this fossil is that of a species named Temnodontosaurus trigonodon, which had never before been found in the United Kingdom. The team that excavated the fossil recalls that ichthyosaur fossils are usually unearthed following the erosion of cliffs on the coasts of Dorset and Yorkshire. Although Rutland County is located 50 kilometers from the coast, 200 million years ago, the sea level was higher than today, and a shallow ocean covered the place where the fossil was discovered. Number 19. Godzilla Shark. Paleontologists have found a complete and well-preserved fossilized skeleton of an ancient shark on a private site in the Manzano Mountains near Albuquerque, New Mexico. The remarkable skeleton features 12 rows of piercing teeth set in sturdy jaws, along with a pair of 80-centimeter fin spikes on its back. It was nicknamed the Godzilla Shark because of its size and the reptilian nature of the spines on its back. The shark has now officially been named Hoffman's dragon shark, Dracopristis hoffmannorum, in honor of the family that owned the land where the fossil was found. This dragon shark belonged to a group of mysterious ancient sharks known as tenacants, which diverged from modern sharks and lived around 390 million years ago during the Devonian period. The superbly preserved skeleton has allowed researchers to learn more about this prehistoric species. Their fixed jaws suggest that tenacants were not super big predators like modern sharks are. According to scientists, the large spines on the backs of Hoffman's dragon sharks may have been used as a defense against larger sharks. Hoffman's dragon shark disappeared during the mass extinction event at the end of the Permian period, 252 million years ago, which ended the Paleozoic era. However, the exact cause of the shark's disappearance is still unclear. Researchers are now searching for more tenacanth fossils in the region to learn more about their lifestyle and habits, evolutionary characteristics such as longevity, growth rate, age of reproductive maturity, and reproductive output. Number 18. Duck-billed dinosaurs. Hadrosaurs are the famous duck-billed dinosaurs. These herbivorous animals evolved during the Cretaceous period, approximately 85 to 65 million years ago. They were characterized by their elongated, flat skull with an enlarged beak and teeth that specialized in grinding vegetation. We also know that hadrosaurs were among the most widespread and diverse dinosaurs of their time. Furthermore, their teeth were undoubtedly the most complex in vertebrate evolution. They were capable of crushing, grinding, and shearing, which would have allowed these dinosaurs to exploit a wide range of plant resources. Back in 2013, the paleobiologist Marcelo Lepp of the Chilean Antarctic Institute found an interesting animal while he was looking for plant fossils in the valley of the Rio de las Chinas in Chile. The researcher recently teamed up with academic paleobiologist Alexander Vargas of the University of Chile with the aim of reconstructing the complete skeleton of what would turn out to be a new species of hadrosaur. It was about 4 meters long and weighed more than 1,000 kilograms. It was, therefore, a medium-sized hadrosaur, one of the few that have been discovered so far in South America. Number 17. Prehistoric Ice Age horse. And the way we'll be able to identify which species of horse it is is by these little wiggles of enamel in there. Imagine digging a hole in your garden and stumbling upon a skeleton that is millions of years old. What a strange surprise, right? Well, believe it or not, but it happened to a man in Las Vegas. That's right. A Las Vegas resident was digging a swimming pool in his backyard when workers came across bones. Authorities initially thought they had discovered a crime scene right in Las Vegas, but plot twist, the investigators understood that the scene was more related to paleontology. Paleontologist Joshua Bond, often called out for false alarms, was surprised to discover what he considers to be the remains of a prehistoric horse that would have lived during the Ice Age, between 6,000 and 14,000 years ago in the past. At that time, the area was apparently filled with swamps that housed mammoths, prehistoric camels, saber-toothed tigers, and other mammals that have since become extinct. Bones from its right leg, its shoulder blade, and a few vertebrae have been found so far. These pieces of the horse skeleton were still linked, which indicates that it was buried probably before scavengers could attack it. Now, it's time for the state of Nevada to investigate the area, not for crimes, but for more fossils and traces of history. Number 16. New species of flying reptile. These look a little bit like they might be teeth, and it's pretty symmetrical. A particular specimen of Terrasaur, a type of flying dinosaur, was found on the Isle of Skye back in 2017. The animal exceeded 2.5 meters in wingspan, an exceptional size, which makes the reptile the largest Jurassic pterosaur ever discovered to date. It is named Dirk's Giathanac, which means winged reptile in Gaelic. This species lived around 170 million years ago. The Scottish climate was subtropical and therefore had nothing to do with the one we experience today. It was first the jaw of the reptile that was discovered in Scotland, protruding from a layer of limestone. The rock was then sawed quickly to extract the remains of the animal before the tide rose again. Since then, around 70% of the skeleton, which is very thin and very fragile, has been collected. While the size of the animal already appears enormous, scientists revealed that the pterosaur had not yet reached its adult size at the time of its death and was still growing. The span of its wings could, therefore, have exceeded 3 meters. Study of its skull also determined that the reptile had very large optic lobes, suggesting that it had very good eyesight. Imagine a creature like that. Now it's time for today's topic. A group of Japanese fishermen recently encountered a chilling sight while navigating the open seas, a massive carcass floating lifelessly on the water's surface. Initially dismissed as a decomposing whale, the sheer size and unusual features of the creature soon raised questions among the crew. Its leathery, ridged skin, elongated body, and strange tail structure hinted at something far more extraordinary. After towing the carcass to shore, marine biologists and paleontologists were called in to examine the find. Shockingly, their research suggested that the remains belonged to a creature thought to have been extinct for millions of years, a basilosaurus. This ancient marine mammal, resembling a monstrous serpent, was a predator that ruled the oceans during the Eocene epoch. The discovery sparked a wave of excitement and fear, as its perfectly preserved body provided invaluable insights into prehistoric marine ecosystems. However, the find has also ignited heated debates online. While some experts believe it to be a scientific breakthrough, skeptics argue that it could be an elaborate hoax or an unidentified modern species. As investigations continue, one thing is certain: the ocean still holds secrets that challenge everything we think we know. Could more relics of the past be lurking beneath the waves? Number 15. Unearthing a prehistoric turtle. What if ninja turtles were real? Well, they existed millions of years ago, dude. Paleontologists have unearthed fossils of a new species of turtle. They documented their discovery, made between 2016 and 2021, near the village of Cal de Nargo in northeastern Spain. One of the most impressive characteristics of this turtle is that it is heavier than a hippopotamus. This species is called Leviathanocheles enigmatica. There are more than 300 species of turtles around the world, according to the National Ocean Service. The leatherback turtle is the largest living sea turtle, measuring up to 183 centimeters and weighing between 250 and 910 kilograms. But with Leviathanocheles enigmatica, we change our panel of dimensions. Fossilized bones were found, including fragments of a pelvis and almost complete pieces of carapaces. They enabled paleontologists to estimate the size of the animal. And guess what? Researchers estimate that this turtle, which lived in the Cretaceous period more than 66 million years ago, could measure up to 3.7 meters long and weigh more than 3,000 kilograms. This turtle is close to the size of Archelon, an extinct sea turtle found on the North American continent. Its size was estimated to be up to 4.6 meters long, and it could weigh 3,200 kilograms. But Leviathanocheles enigmatica is the largest specimen of turtle ever found in Europe. Number 14. A whale with 4 legs. Archaeologists have discovered the bones of a whale with 4 legs, and guess what? The species lived in Egypt 41 million years ago. It is one of the oldest specimens of its family in Africa. This whale was named Ceoptera, from the name of the child pharaoh Tutankhamun and the word cetus, which means whale in Greek. According to the American University of Cairo, it is the smallest basilosaurid whale discovered to date. During the Eocene era, which was 56 to 33.9 million years ago, whales developed fish-like characteristics, such as a simplified body, powerful tails, and fins. They had limbs that were visible enough to be qualified as legs. These were probably not used for walking but for reproduction. The fossil was found in a part of Egypt once covered by a sea, where the Valley of the Whales is also located, which contains many fossil remains. Already in August 2021, Egyptian archaeologists discovered the fossil of a new species of amphibian whale dating back 43 million years in the Fayum region. Number 13. Pugnacious mammal. Back in 2012, 2 fossilized skeletons were discovered in Liaoning, a province in northeast China. This place is also known as the Chinese Pompeii because it is home to many remains of dinosaurs and other animals preserved in volcanic debris, similar to those of the ancient Roman city. Those 2 skeletons depicted a badger-sized mammal attacking a dinosaur that is 3 times its size. Both were frozen in the ash of a volcanic eruption 125 million years ago. This discovery suggests that small mammals could prey on dinosaurs that dominated the fauna of the Cretaceous period. This is the first time that a fossil has been discovered showing the fight between a mammal and a dinosaur. Scientists couldn't believe their eyes. Until now, mammals were considered too small to attack dinosaurs during the few tens of millions of years they lived alongside each other. But the fossil shows a prehistoric mammal called Reptile robustus dominating a Pterosaurus lugiatinensis, which is a big herbivore with a beak similar to that of a parrot. Number 12. New Terrasaur. A nearly complete and very well-preserved fossilized skeleton of a small creature was discovered in a Bavarian limestone quarry. It was later analyzed by a team of paleontologists from Britain, Germany, and Mexico. This creature is, in fact, a pterosaur, a kind of flying dinosaur. The animal was a member of the pterosaur family Ptenacasmatidae and was named Balanognathes museri, which translates into whale mouth. And guess why? Well, the jaws of this pterosaur are quite massive. They are long and lined with small, thin, hooked teeth with tiny spaces between them. The large jaw is curved upwards and flares at the tip. There are no teeth at the end of its mouth, but there are teeth all the way down to the back of its smile. Researchers believe that this dinosaur fed by wading into shallow lagoons, scooping up water with the spoon-shaped end of its mouth, then forcing that water out through the narrow spaces between its intersecting teeth. With these giant teeth, the animal would be able to filter small shrimps or other prey, which it then swallowed. Today's whales, as well as ducks and flamingos, feed in a similar way. The hooks at the end of pterosaur teeth would have helped it hold on to the shrimp, preventing them from escaping between the teeth. This is the first time that such fangs have been observed on a pterosaur. Number 11. Monkeydactyl. In 2021, researchers identified a new species of pterosaur that lived 160 million years ago in the region of Tyrannosaurus in China. Appearing during the Mesozoic era, which is more than 200 million years ago, pterosaurs are identified as the first vertebrates to fly. But they didn't just use their wings to move around. According to paleontologists, these reptiles could also venture onto the ground or even crawl through trees. This flying reptile is known as the Monkeydactyl. This name reflects its anatomical particularity. That's right, this pterosaur had a small body, an elongated tail, wings spanning 85 centimeters, and, more surprisingly, opposable thumbs on its hands. This anatomical feature is present in many mammals, such as primates. On the other hand, it is much rarer among current reptiles except for chameleons. According to the researchers, this is the first discovery of a pterosaur with opposable thumbs. Number 10. Mamasaurus Rex. Mamasaurus Rex was discovered in the Tunisian desert and is the largest in its category. The fossils that were found seem to indicate that this Mamasaurus Rex belonged to a group of crocodiles inhabiting the sea and coastal areas towards the end of the Jurassic period, from 213 to 145 million years BCE. But according to scientists, this species is not directly related to crocodiles. The specimen was much larger. It weighed 3,000 kilograms and measured 9 meters long. Its jaw was very powerful and made up of small, thick teeth. The study of the teeth of the giant crocodile gives an idea of the diet of the Mamasaurus Rex. Its power allowed it to hunt very different prey, such as large sea turtles or even animals that made the mistake of venturing close to the shore. Other bones belonging to the species had been unearthed in Europe and North America. Researchers thought that the species had disappeared after the extinction at the end of the Jurassic. However, These ancient excavations in Asia have proven that Mamasaurus Rex had actually lived 25 million years longer in other regions of the world, contrary to what was previously suggested. To date, the largest crocodile fossil ever discovered was a cousin of Mamasaurus Rex, Sarcosuchus imperator, a freshwater crocodile that lived 110 million years ago. It measured 12 meters and weighed nearly 8,000 kilograms. Number 9. A new species of dinosaur with an unusual tail. The famous Stegosaurian dinosaur was discovered during excavations in 2018 at Cerro Guido in the Las Chinas Valley of Chile, which extends over 15 kilometers. Various rock formations crop out there which contain numerous fossils. The team of scientists thought they were dealing with a type of animal already known, until the remains appeared. The tail was covered with 7 pairs of osteoderms, which are bony plate structures located in the dermal layers of the skin that line up on either side of the tail and make it resemble a large fern. These usually serve as weapons, except this time they are absolutely different from anything known for any dinosaur. Paleontologists were very surprised when they discovered the whole skeleton and estimate that the animal lived in the region 71 to 74.9 million years ago. It measured about 2 meters long, weighed 150 kilograms, and was herbivorous. According to the scientists, it could represent a previously unknown lineage of an armored dinosaur never seen in the southern hemisphere but already identified in the north of the continent. Number 8. Oldest croc-like cousin to the dinosaur. For decades, scientists have thought that dinosaurs had ancestors that looked like miniature versions of themselves. Picture a dinosaur the size of a chicken moving on legs. Well, that's it. You get the idea. However, some recently discovered fossils have actually proved them wrong. They were found in 2015 in southern Tanzania and belonged to a teleocrator radnus. A study was carried out by around 10 scientists, including from the University of Birmingham and the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago. It revealed that before dinosaurs, a crocodile-like carnivore with a 2 to 3 meter long neck, a tail, and 4 legs was roaming around the planet. These creatures were alive during the Triassic period, which was 245 million years ago. Can you believe it? A group of reptiles, the archosaurs, then divided into 2 branches, a bird branch which led to dinosaurs and then birds, and a crocodile branch. Teleocrator and its relatives are the oldest known members of the bird branch. This new discovery changed everything. There are a few features that tell us Teleocrator was more closely related to dinosaurs. It shed light on what we know of history and biology today. It also shows that we might have to reevaluate our understanding of our own ancestors. Number 7. Ancient whale. Back in 2010, a massive fossilized ocean creature was discovered in Peru. Its name is Parasitus colossus, and it is a marine giant that lived 39 million years ago. The average weight of this extinct cetacean species is estimated at 180,000 kilograms. Can you imagine? 13 gigantic vertebrae, including one weighing almost 200 kilograms, were found at the Peruvian site, as well as 4 ribs and a hip bone. Its skeleton alone weighed between 5 and 7 tons, more than twice the weight of the skeleton of a blue whale. Its skull has not been found, but everything indicates that this creature had a super small head compared to its massive body. Researchers studied and analyzed the fossils of this new species for years. They recently understood that it was a basilosaurid, an extinct family of cetaceans. Today's cetaceans are dolphins, whales, and porpoises. Their earliest ancestors lived on land but migrated to water over time. Basilosaurids were the first cetaceans to adopt an entirely aquatic lifestyle. To adapt to this change, these marine mammals adopted an evolutionary process called gigantism. They basically began to grow to store more energy. A study claimed that they reached the maximum of their body mass 30 million years earlier than estimated. Number 6. Ccklike, the fish with legs. Ccklike is a bony fish of the class Sarcopterygiae from the Devonian period. This fish, whose name means large freshwater fish, in the Inuktitut language, an Inuit dialect, looks like a cross between a fish and an alligator. It lived around 375 million years ago. In addition to the regular characteristics attributed to bony fish, such as scales, radiated pectoral and pelvic fins, the Ccklike also had legs. That's right, these legs were, in fact, thick pectoral fins that were stiffened by an articulated bony skeleton, which allowed it to move its body, about 2 meters long, in the lagoons. These characteristics make Ccklike one of the oldest known relatives of tetrapods. Because of this mixture of characters, some scientists called it the fishapod. Ccklike's pectoral fins had wrists and fingers, showing that it could move on the ground. A closer look at the joints showed that it probably couldn't walk but could lift itself. The bones of these fins show large areas of muscle, suggesting that they were both muscular and could flex at the wrist. If these wrists did not develop on dry land, then it was an effective adaptation allowing the animal to stay still on the bottom of the water and resist strong currents. The ventilation holes on the top of the head suggest that the animal had primitive lungs as well as gills. These lungs were useful in shallow water, where the higher temperature would lower the oxygen level. The 3 fossil skeletons of Tiktaalik were discovered on Ellesmere Island, which is in the north of the Canadian Arctic archipelago. It was found in the territory of Nunavut by Neil Shubin of the University of Chicago and Edward Deschler of the Academy of Natural Sciences of Philadelphia. At the time the species lived, Ellesmere Island was part of the supercontinent Laurasia, which was located on the equator and had a warm climate. Number 5. The manta-like shark. An amazing species of shark was discovered in Mexico. It is called Aquilolamna malarkey, and it lived 93 million years ago in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Its fossil is quite astonishing. It was equipped with wings like today's manta rays. The animal corresponds to a new family called eagle sharks. They are characterized, like manta rays, by extremely long and thin pectoral fins reminiscent of bird wings. The studied specimen measured 1.65 meters long with a wingspan of 1.90 meters. Like all other sharks, it had a caudal fin with a well-developed upper lobe. This strange combination gave it the appearance of a half-shark, half-manta chimera. The fossil is incredibly well preserved and was discovered in northern Vallecillo in 2012, where numerous finds have already been made. This site is particularly known for its fossils of ammonites, bony fish, and other marine reptiles. It constitutes a valuable source of information on the aquatic species of the time. According to the researchers, this shark should not have been very dangerous, even if it had a large mouth. It was undoubtedly equipped with very small teeth. They were not made for chewing but for filtering seawater in order to collect plankton. Aquilolamna malarkey did not do great bursts of speed either. It was a relatively slow swimmer, which used both its long pectoral fins and its tail to glide through the water and feed itself. Number 4. New dinosaur species discovered in South Africa. A new species of dinosaur was found in South Africa. The species is called Legimahadi mafube, which means giant thunder at dawn in Sesotho, one of the languages of South Africa. This dinosaur lived around 200 million years ago at the very beginning of the Jurassic. Legimahadi mafube belongs to the group of sauropodomorphs. It is an ancestral relative of the sauropods, which took off in the Middle Jurassic around 170 million years ago and which included in their ranks the largest quadrupedal dinosaurs, such as Diplodocus or Brachiosaurus. This ancestral model was already impressive, twice as big as an elephant. The size was 4 meters, and it weighed 12 tons. Once you go into the Jurassic, almost everything becomes a dinosaur. This fossil was discovered in 2012, but several years of excavations were necessary to extract it from its matrix. One of the questions that intrigued its discoverers was that of its mode of locomotion. Its ancestors were bipedal, but sauropods are all quadrupedal. Scientists, therefore, studied the creature's bones and found that they were incredibly robust and capable of walking on all fours. But if modern sauropods wandered like elephants, Legimahadi mafube had very arched front legs, which were much more bumpy. Number 3. New species of parrot-like dinosaur discovered. A team of researchers has discovered a brand new species of oviraptor in the Gobi Desert, Mongolia. These were carnivorous dinosaurs that looked like parrots. This discovery allowed researchers to learn more about how these dinosaurs managed to adapt to their environments to survive. The age of this dinosaur, nicknamed Oxoko avarson, is estimated at 68 million years. It is part of the family of oviraptors, also known as the egg thieves, the first species of which was discovered in 1924. With this new discovery, researchers intend to learn more about the evolution of these creatures. They observed the loss of a claw as well as the evolution of the front limbs of this species of oviraptor. This means that the creatures adapted to their environment when they migrated to what is now North America and the Gobi Desert. Scientists are now wondering whether birds, particularly parrots, are direct descendants of oviraptor. Number 2. Skunk-like mammal. As you've probably understood by now, Cerro Guido is every paleontologist's heaven in terms of discoveries. Another new species of mammal was discovered there and is believed to be 72 to 74 million years old. This new species, named Oritherium xenonicum, looks like a skunk with a jaw with 5 consecutive teeth. According to the researchers, this area was inhabited by prehistoric species from America and Antarctica, who migrated millions of years ago through portions of land that were under the sea and which emerged after a drop in temperatures. The unique fossilized remains provide scientists with crucial insights into how mammals adapted to survive alongside dinosaurs. Oritherium xenonicum's dental structure suggests it had a diverse diet, possibly feeding on both plants and small insects, Its discovery has sparked debates among experts about the potential connections between early South American and Antarctic mammalian species. The remarkable preservation of the fossil indicates that this region's geological conditions were ideal for safeguarding ancient remains. Cerro Guido's rich fossil beds continue to surprise researchers, offering a treasure trove of information about prehistoric ecosystems. This area stands as a testament to the immense biodiversity that existed millions of years ago, reshaping our understanding of evolution during the late Cretaceous period. This is what makes this area so special because the evolution of mammals in the era of dinosaurs is still very little known, and each discovery of a new species lines a path in history and marks a step forward. Number 1. New horned dinosaur. A team from the Canadian Museum of Nature has identified a new species of horned dinosaur following the discovery of a fossil in the United States. The 76-million-year-old fossil is known as Judith, as it was found near the Judith River geologic formation. The scientific name is Spiclipius shipperum. The first word means thorn shield, to characterize its frill festooned with triangular thorns, and the second word pays homage to Dr. Shipp, who discovered the bones in Montana in 2005. This new specimen is characterized by the horns above its eyes, which point outwards. In comparison, those of the Triceratops go forward, and the collar dotted with spines oriented in different directions. It's these features that allow us to identify this as a new species that we're pretty excited about. The McLeod Street Museum purchased the fossilized dinosaur in 2015. Scientists were able to reconstruct the dinosaur from half of Judith's skull and pieces of limbs, hip, and spine. Research carried out on the fossil made it possible to retrace the life of Judith. However, it was not possible to identify whether it was a male or a female. Damaged bones show that the animal suffered for many years. Scientists found signs of arthritis and osteomyelitis, infection of the bone, on its humerus, the upper part of the front limb. Despite illness, Judith lived to adulthood. Prehistoric animals are absolutely fascinating. If you could travel back in time to see one of these incredible creatures, which one would it be? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the other cool videos showing up on the screen right now. See you next time.